Hi everyone. Okay, this is a strange time. You know what I mean? And you guys have some very high stakes testing coming up. Um, so I've been researching what the College Board is doing, and I know I emailed you through the Schoology system. Pay attention to that. Make sure to share that information with your parents. Um, the test is going to change drastically, so all of this multiple choice practice is not necessarily going to matter anymore. We don't know exactly what they're going to do until April 2nd. Meaning, like, they will tell teachers which direction to head, but they're not doing that yet. And it's makes it kind of hard. So, the announcement said that they were going to do free response questions, which is kind of like mini little one paragraph little things, situations, and only 45 minutes and from at home. Okay. Now, I feel like, without having seen what they're going to do, I feel like through our message boards, you guys have already been practicing this. Okay. So I feel like you guys are in a good position for this as long as, you are able to kind of go off the cuff with the message boards. Does that make sense? Like going kind of from your memory instead of sitting and researching and poring over everything you say. Maybe we'll be okay. I think that you guys are skilled at this. I think you've proven yourselves with this. I think it'll be okay. The problem that a lot of people are having is that there are actually, at this moment in time, no real free response questions on the tests in the past for this test. The free response questions, they're called FRQs if you want to look them up, are usually for like history or government or things like that. So what we're running into is that because there are no free response questions for the literature exam in place, I have nothing to give you to study. So I'm imagining they will be a lot like what our discussion boards are. But again, I don't know because they haven't put it out yet. So we're going to keep going on essay writing because I feel like that really does develop your skill. Okay, so you're going to be working on an open essay, which is basically where you choose your own literature to write about. And I want you to try to do this as best as you can without pulling out the books that you choose to write about and write about them from the memory. They're not expecting you at this point to cite things. Just write about the concepts. Now, the key is to interest the person reading your exam. Sound astute, okay? The people reading the exams they're reading hordes and hordes and hordes of them and grading them. And the thing is, they probably haven't read the pieces, all of the pieces that the students are going to write about, okay? So you need to be aware of that. What you need to do is capture their attention, load up with facts, use literary terms. So the one thing I can tell you right now is to study those literary terms, and I'll post a link to a site where you can just work on studying those. I think that's the biggest thing right now is making sure you have those literary terms down. Okay. Like I said, it's just very odd. Some people with the math or science test, like, how are we going to do mathematical formulas in free response answers on the computer? Like, you actually have to write stuff down. So there's a lot of questions. I would not be surprised if this plan changes again, because I think that all of the teachers coming in and saying like, hey, but this doesn't make sense for this class and this doesn't make sense for this class is going to force the College Board to sit back and think about the plans they've made. I just don't think it's going to work. They are offering free refunds to anybody that paid that would like a refund. So, I mean, that option is there. That is something you can talk to your parents about for the testing. I won't know until April 2nd. I'm imagining the test will happen at the same exact time. But again, I don't know. It's like all up in the air. And I know it's so stressful because you guys have been working so hard and I'm so proud of you. And to know that a lot of what you've been working towards for the test will not be on the test is kind of disconcerting. However, look at it this way. Throughout this class, you have been exposed to new authors, new literary traditions. You have learned a ton. You are more than prepared for college. I guarantee you that. So all is not at a loss just because one test is canceled. I mean, you know my thoughts on testing. So moving forward, if you already have your AP study exam guide thing, like Princeton Review, like I have right here, start studying that. Just read through it on how to conquer the essays, because that's what it sounds like it's going to be for us. Also, remember to study those literary terms, okay? All right. Here's a few poems and a few books that you can write about without having it next to you. I think that's going to be the key, okay? And I post a lot of videos about that. So this is our last week for Hamlet. You guys did great. So next, we're supposed to be reading Catch-22. I would like to still read Catch-22, but because the test has changed so much, I'm thinking I'm going to let that up to you. You can read about it. I will put message boards on there for anybody who is reading it, and I can guide you along those, but that will not be for credit. I think at this moment in time, just because there's so much going on in the world right now that, like, there's a lot of stress and a lot of pressure, and that sometimes for some people can make it hard to concentrate. So I'm very understanding of that. So it is up to you guys if you want to read Catch-22. Okay, I will post discussion boards for it. However, you should do a research project. We're going to start that next week. So my plan for credit going forward after Hamlet is to work on, and hopefully if they announce their plans on April 2nd, I'll be prepared to do this. I hope they do. Who knows? So my plan going forward will be to practice the FRQs with you guys, free response questions, and work on your research papers with you, okay? My original idea for the research papers was to do something literary. So you should choose an author, you should choose a movement, you should choose a specific genre and look at how it's changed over time, things like that. Now remember, with your thesis statement, it has to be something that you can, an argument that you can back up. I just keep getting CNN like on my phone. That's why I keep looking down. It just Rand Paul tested positive. They keep coming, and I think that I need to turn off the notifications because they aren't doing my psyche any good. So I think that we all need to take a break and step away. Okay, so back to concentrating. This week, I want you to think about 3 topics that you would like to write about for your research paper. 3 topics that make you happy to research for long periods of time. Remembering, of course, that you shouldn't go to the library right now, and all the research has to come from the computer. Okay, and next week you are going to post those topics in a discussion board. So for this week, just kind of jot down ideas, brainstorm, and make sure there's enough information to write about this topic. Okay, at the same time, make sure it's not so narrow that you cannot get a 10-page paper out of it. All right, so moving forward, like I said, everything is in the air for the AP test. Their plan is angering some, but I feel like you guys are prepared. But I don't know what colleges are going to do with these changes. It's kind of strange because they're taking this long test and changing it to something that is much shorter and just one type of question. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. Hopefully colleges will still accept it. I can't imagine they would not, but you know, it might be concerned. It's not that big of a test. There's a petition going forward in which the teachers would choose how many points. So you need a 5. You need between 3 and 5 to get the college credit, usually at most college campuses. So the petition is actually for the teachers to give those points based on the grade of the student. And I would love to do that because I would be giving everybody 5s. Because you guys have worked hard. Every single one of you has worked hard. Every single one of you has grown. And I'm so proud of you. So if that comes to pass because everybody's complaining the way they are, you'll all have your 5s. But I don't know if College Board is going to listen to the teachers, as they do not really ever listen to the teachers anyway. So we're doing the best we can. Okay, just make sure to share that information that I sent in the Schoology email with your parents. Okay, thanks.